Hello, my name is Reverend Stephen P. Linsnick, and I'm the pastor here at St. Mary Catholic Church. As you can see, the church was built 1867, and all four buildings are at least 100 years old. The parish house or rectory was built in 1881, and the other two buildings, I don't know exactly what date. I think the end building is a new school building built in 1905. At one time there was a boys grade school and a girls grade school in the late 1800s, and the Franciscan sisters built the building over here, which was their convent, and we rehabbed that to do outreach to the poor. We have about 500 families, and about 1,100 parishioners come here to St. Mary Catholic Church.
How long have you been here, Father?
I've been here 30 years, which is kind of an exception, I guess. A lot of priests have been here a long time, and it's just great to minister to the downtown community.
And this is this sandstone or red?
Well, it's kind of like a sandstone over a pumpkin brick. And so we have it all painted the same way. We restored it in about 6 years ago.
We're going to go inside and give us a little history inside. We're moving inside in just a moment now.
On the inside of our church, you can tell it's a neo-Gothic design, and the back reredos, we do know historically were brought down the Ohio River on a boat back in 1867, so they're nearly 150 years old. The center altar and reredos, and then St. Joseph, and then on this side there's another statue of St. Mary's. This is a brand new organ that we built. It's worth about $1 million, and it was built and designed just for this space. We still have the traditional Stations of the Cross, and the windows, which were put in 1940, have the rosary in them, except for these last two windows on each side. But there's the 15 Stations of the Cross, and then the last one on the other side has Mary giving the rosary to St. Dominic. The baptistry is on the right. We baptized 3 children last night, and we baptized 3 children this morning. And tonight at the Mass, we don't have any baptisms. But it's a great space. It has about a 3-second reverb, and we welcome a lot of visitors at the 4 o'clock at the Sunday liturgy.
And this church, built at that time, was it mostly of German or Irish, or just a mixture of descent?
It actually was the second German church. We were actually the third church. The first church was the Assumption, which was Irish, and that was torn down for the Civic Center. And then the Holy Trinity was the first German church, and it burnt, and they built a new one. And so this was kind of south of town, and it was the second German Catholic church.
I see.
And today it's the oldest standing Catholic church in the city.
And this is all Gothic style. And you said earlier these parts of the altar up there were brought down the river. Could you describe those a little bit more? I didn't have the camera on those areas.
Sure.
Where Mary is in the center.
Yeah, when Mary is in the center, they're called a reredos. In other words, that's part of our history. So as you can tell, there's no candles or flowers or anything. But the main focus, of course, is the assembly, the people of God, and then the altar and where the deacon is going to preach and the lectors going up there. That's called the ambo. And then in the cantor stand and the presider's chair is there in the center.
And before Vatican II in 1962, you had lots of other structures there at the altar. Did you have other things that were removed at one time or not?
Well, we've expanded the sanctuary space has come out about 15 feet, because now we have the choir seated on movable chairs at the 9:30 liturgy. And so we have about 24 to 30 people, and that makes a really great celebration, because they send the music out this way, and the assembly can send the music back in praise of our God.
And Father, you're a native West Sider, and St. Barnabas is partly your heritage, but you've been here close to 30 years, which is a long time. But you grew up in St. Barnabas Parish?
Yeah, I grew up in St. Barnabas, which is another beautiful kind of German church. It's a little newer. It was built in 1881, so we were here probably 14 years before St. Barnabas. Maybe that was either the fourth or fifth church right after St. Anthony's. I'm not sure which one came next.
Well, thank you very much for the tour. I appreciate it. It's going to help the people understand more about St. Mary's Church and the churches of Evansville.
One other thing I did want to say was there's a window that was given by Assumption Cathedral, which was actually older than the building, 1854, and we restored it and put it in the back when we took out our choir loft. So you might want to take a picture of that if possible.
I will do that. Thank you. Thanks, Don. This is the Assumption window. It was moved from Assumption Cathedral and was stored at the Evansville Museum for many years, and it was just placed in this church in the last 2 years. This is a panoramic view of this church. Beautiful church, one of the nicest in the Evansville area. You see the center view of this church. And Father Linsick has just reviewed the history of the church, as we see. Again, the Assumption window used to be a choir loft, used to be an organ up in that area. They changed things, made it very nice. Beautiful window, probably one of the prettiest in Evansville. What Father Linsick was reviewing was some of the history of the Catholic churches in Evansville. The first one was Assumption Church from 1837 to 1965. This is the photo of the Upper 2nd Street Assumption. And then the next one was the Assumption Cathedral that was torn down for the city building in around late 1960s. The second church is a Holy Trinity. That was 1849 to present. The first one was at 3rd and Division Streets, now 3rd and Court, and that burned down. And this is the new Trinity that was built in 1951 after the fire. The next one is St. Mary's, and we just reviewed it, and it is the one that was built in 1867. It's a photo of it, and it's been active since 1867. And we just reviewed the history of St. Mary's. St. Boniface, as Father spoke about, was 1881, and this was the first St. Boniface on 1881 on Wabash Avenue. And the second one, 1881 to 1902, and that did burn. And they rebuilt this. They rebuilt the church in 1902, and it still stands. And that's where Father grew up. And then the Sacred Heart of Jesus, 1885 to the present time. You see the different churches. First on Iowa Street, then West Franklin, and then this is its present church. St. Anthony of Padua, one of the older churches, 1888, and Columbia Avenue, and now it's from 1888 to 1896, and then it's First Avenue from 1896 to present.